Hello everybody and welcome back to another cigar review. I know we're a day late. By the time you're watching this, probably 2 days late. I do apologise. There'll be a normal video on Sunday. I know I missed Thursday's video. I was at a meeting in the evening, had a good time, but now we're here. And today we're doing, of course, another cigar review. You'll know it by the title, but it is another small cigar because I think they are, at this time of year, in this weather, you don't really have time, if you're smoking outside especially, for a bigger cigar. And so people tend to, at this time of year, gravitate to the cigars in the tins, the cigars in the 5 packs, and just smaller cigars in general. Now, I do have a full-size cigar that I'm probably going to be doing a review on Tuesday, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I am looking forward to that review. It's not an expensive cigar, but I'm looking forward to it. That'll be out on Tuesday. Sunday there'll be a spirit review, probably rum. But today, let's get on to the cigar we're smoking today. And it is right here, as always in the top pocket. This is the J.Cortes Clubs, also known as the Club Panatella cigars. Now these are a short cigar. Now, I'll open up the packet. You open it up. You have 5 cigars in a little plastic inlay tray there. It has the no smoking label inside. Little 100% tobacco label. But yeah, 5 small cigars. These are 4.5 by 32. So not a bad sized little cigar. They come with little bands on, which I always enjoy. When a cigar has a band, and as you can see, there's like a plastic tray on the inside that holds them. Kind of wasteful, J.Cortes. Don't need the plastic tray, do you? But you could just have 5 cigars next to each other. But 4.5 by 32. They don't tell you what the actual tobacco inside is anywhere. But given the blue packaging, and I've not smoked one in a while, but if knowledge serves me right, the J.Cortes high class, their Coronas. They do a Honduras, which is like an orange tube, which is the best one. They do a Dominican in a white tube, and they do a Sumatran, which comes in a blue tube. And I know the Sumatran blend has Brazilian, Indonesian, and Javan tobacco with a Sumatra wrapper. I'm going to say this is the same because it's the same colours on that tube as this packet. 4.5 by 32. So not a bad little size cigar. This packet clocked me. It was quite expensive in the shop, I think. Actually, they clock in between. You can find them, I think, as low as about 14.50, 15 pounds. This packet cost me 16.70 at my tobacconist, which is a bit high. Obviously, prices vary up and down the country. Some tobacconists stock them for more, some for less. 16.70, I think, is on the higher end of that, but I think it's still within a reasonable bracket, which puts per cigar cost here just over £3, £3.40, £3.50, which is not a bad price for a little cigar. I have smoked probably about 2 packets of these in my entire life, 2 whole packets, which is a reasonable amount. It's 10 cigars. They, to my knowledge, were quite nice. I think they had quite a reasonable flavour. At this time of year, as I was saying earlier, you kind of want a smaller cigar. Now, for me, smoke indoors doesn't matter too much, but if you don't smoke indoors, if you have to smoke outside for whatever reason, then you don't want to be out in the cold, potentially in the wet, smoking very big, long cigars. Even something like a standard Corona is going to last you 45 to an hour, especially a well-made one. Whereas a cigar like this, these can last you as little as 20 minutes, up to, you're looking like 40 minutes, some of them. Depending on how long you can smoke them for. I think I'm gonna be trying to stretch this for half an hour today. I think 30 minutes is a good smoke time on something like this. If you can get 30 minutes out of one of these, you're doing well. I do think we might see closer to 20, but um, I mean, I think it's the tobacco is reasonably packed in there. There's not much smell. These aren't machine made, obviously. J.Cortes is owned by, it's like the Van something family, the Vandermeer family or something like that. Um, like the VMF group or something. They own a bunch of brands that you'll know. They own a Lever, which obviously owns a Nub. They own Diolafon, so they own kind of a collection of machine made and premium brands. Obviously, this J.Cortes, I think they're made in the Charatan factory. I could be wrong, but I believe they are made in the Charatan factory. But enough yapping. Let's get this lit. Let me tell you what my thoughts are on the initial burn. We're gonna go in classic today. Matches, and not any matches. Swan Vestas, Swan bloody Vestas. Bit of history on the Swan Vestas. These are safety matches that I believe were used by soldiers. I think that's what they're slightly longer. They're slightly longer than your normal match, so you can light a cigarette or a pipe or whatever. I believe is the reason. Now I am going to pull out two. Or do I need two? I'll pull three out, and we'll get this lit. I'll let you know how it is. I'm hoping good. As again, I've not smoked one of these in about 4 or 5 months, so it'd be nice to revisit it. And I think for a good value option, it has to be considered. And I'm always looking for value options. You know me, I'm always looking for value options. Flames are going. I think even on a cigar of this size, you still want to toast that foot just to ensure a good burn. Anything smaller than a 30 or 32, I'm willing to just bring up to my lips, but not loads, but ashtrays next to me. There we are, perfect little cherry there. Let's give it a first puff and I'll let you know what I think. You know what? That's surprisingly good. First couple of puffs, surprisingly nice. A lot of smoke output, which I like. I like a lot of smoke output from a cigar, especially when it's a smaller cigar. When you get a lot of smoke output, it makes you feel like you're smoking something bigger, even if you're not. A woodiness, kind of a sweet grassiness, but in like a nice way, like a hay, or more than a grass, like a sweet hay. Kind of a woodiness. Let me take another puff. Yeah, it's nice. It's not strong. It's quite mild tobaccos, but there is a couple of flavors there. As again, sweet hay. It's not a cedar wood, but there is a woodiness there. Quite nice. A little bit of spiciness, a tiny bit, kind of white pepper-ish spice. Very reasonable first couple of puffs. I'll be back. I doubt we're going to see much change, so we'll probably come back halfway through. I'll give you a time update. From it's very late when I'm smoking this in the UK, but I'll give you a time update of how long. Cause I've just lit it now. I've got the time. I've noted it down, and I'll come back about halfway through, let you know how long it's been smoking for, what it's been smoking like. See you then. So we are halfway through the cigar, as you can see, just past halfway, really, but about halfway in. It has been about 18, 19, 20 minutes. I have my watch on me. It's been about 20 minutes. I think that's pretty good so far. You know, I'm looking at 18 minutes. I've not been puffing on this continuously. I've been watching some TV, having a sip of me drink, and puffing away. 7 Up for today. If anyone's interested in what I'm pairing this with, just a 7 Up, because it doesn't always need to be booze. It doesn't always need to be coffee. You can just have a lemonade basically, and it's nice. Nice pairing. There's not been any major changes. I didn't think there would be, but there is a nice bit of pepper there. Smoky. There's a bit of white pepper, a nice woodiness, and again, that sweet hay. So natural sweet tobacco notes, a hay note, a woody note, and a bit of a pepper note, which is that's a lot for the price of the cigar. Obviously, between £3 and £4 you pick these up for. Um, so about £3.50, or just less than £3.50, but around like 3.35 or something. I could get a calculator and do the actual maths. Do not need to though, because the price varies. I've seen them for £15. I've seen them, I think, just under £15. I paid £16.70. You could probably pay more than that in some places, maybe, but I think for the price, so far it's been a very pleasant, easy smoke. Has it been amazing? No. Has it made me go, this is a really nice short cigar? No. Is it better? And this is a good question. Is it better than the Villager number 7? Probably not. The Villager number 7 is a very lovely cigar. I think the Villager number 7 has a couple things on its side. I think the wrapper on that cigar is beautiful. I think it has just really good mild flavour. It's still mild tobacco, but flavour wise, it's probably closer to a medium. That kind of woodiness and slight pepperiness does put it up from like a mild plus, I'd say. Whereas the Village is a much milder cigar, but it's still got good complexity to it. I do have a Villager number 7 review. You should go watch it. It's good. It's a good cigar. I'd recommend it to people who don't smoke machine made stuff. I think it's a good cigar. I don't smoke only machine made stuff. I smoke a lot of machine made cigars because they're cheap. They're available, and in the UK, especially if you're like me, working class, you can't afford to be smoking Cohiba all the time, can you? So we got to be smoking stuff like J.Cortes and Villager and what else have I reviewed? La Paz and others such. And more reviews to come. That's the thing, value wise, I think in the UK is in those machine made cigars. When it comes to handmade cigars, there are value options, and I will continue to make and my videos generally, as you probably have noticed, do not focus on the very big brands, the exceptionally well known cigars that cost a lot of money. For normal people, it costs a lot of money. My focus generally is on budget value smokes and what is the best budget. Because I smoke very expensive cigars. I smoked on Thursday. I smoked a Rocky Patel Edge Maduro Toro, and it was a really nice smoke, a lovely smoke. But I can't afford to smoke those every day. If I had the money, I probably would, but I don't have the money, so I can't. So it was cost me £22 because it's on offer at the tobacconist right now, but it's normally a £26, £27 cigar. Lovely smoke, really nice, dark, rich smoke with really nice sweetness to it. It was lovely. But even I can't smoke that every day. What I can smoke every day is a J.Cortes Club, a Villager number 7, a Villager Export, perhaps, a Diolifant. If I do want to buy some Diolifants and review them because I do think they're good value options. If I can get their vintage line, the Diolifant vintage lines, in at some point. I did have a very nice machine made cigar. I'm going to try and get the other day. That lasted a long time for the size. Very interesting smoke. I'm going to try and get some in a week or two and put a review out on them. But I can afford these cigars to smoke every day. And then I can have a collection of cigars at home, larger cigars, that are still reasonably budget friendly, between the £8 and £18 range, £8 and £20. Coronas, Robustos, Toros, even some Churchills in that size perhaps, that I keep at home and smoke less frequently, but still reasonably often, maybe a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. And then once a week, maybe once every couple of weeks, I will spend over £20 on a cigar. And I will really enjoy that really nice, high quality tobacco. But I do want a cigar every day because for me, the flavour, exploring the flavour, exploring, the history behind the brands and the tobacco and the flavours of the tobacco and all that, obviously a massive part of this hobby. But fundamentally, it's about sitting back, relaxing, watching some TV or talking with some friends and just enjoying a good quality smoke and relaxing and de-stressing and removing yourself from the day-to-day worries that we all have. And that's what smoking cigars is about, fundamentally. Getting rid of those day-to-day worries and enjoying just a bit of good quality tobacco. And that's why finding value options is important. I mean, my watch is just here. Let me just check it. The ash just fell off. Not very good. It's been 25 minutes. I definitely have another 10 minutes on this, at least another 10. So yeah, we're looking at half an hour smoke time, over half an hour smoke time. I'd say 30 to 40 minute smoke time on this. You could probably, if you smoke quickly, it's probably closer to a 20-minute smoke. But I think for your average smoker, you can get 30 out of it. And I think for a slower smoker, I perceive myself as one, you can definitely get 40 minutes out of this thing. So you know what? This video's gone on quite long for what is a small cigar review. But it's because I'm chatting. I'm yapping a bit. I'm talking about stuff. But I hope you enjoy that. Hope you enjoy the yapping, my thoughts about prices in the industry and the world and the cigars. So I'm gonna end the review here. I think for an option, they're good. They're a good cigar. I think they're not amazing by any means. And how often do I buy them? Not regularly. Do I pick other stuff over them? Yes. I think they last a bit longer, perhaps, than the Cuban Puritos do. But the Romeo Puritos, I need to get some and do a review on them at some point. I've smoked many of those and they're very nice. They are flavour-wise miles ahead, and time-wise a bit less, but it's much higher quality tobacco. I think you get a lot of tobacco for your money in the UK anyway. I think you get a reasonable smoke, and I think in these, if you're looking for small cigars to buy for these winter months, these aren't a bad option. Not a bad option. That said, I'd probably give them a 6.5 out of 10. They're not amazing cigars by any means. They are nice. They'll get the job done. And I think you wouldn't be disappointed if you bought these. You're not going to be amazed. I think a 6.5 is a fair rating. A good length of smoke, a good quality of smoke. Nothing to wild. There are better options out there. There are better value options, I think, for me personally as well. Definitely better value options for me. 1670. It was a bit stiff. I remember buying these probably about 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer, 8 months ago perhaps. And I paid, I think, 15 for them. £1.70 increase in less than a year is reasonably steep, I think. But and at that price range, there are some good options and some good packets of cigars, small cigars, and even larger sized cigarillos, so smaller than this but bigger than a miniature, that I think are reasonably priced and give you a similar quality. I mean, I could buy 2 of their tubed Corona cigars, which I've not had a blue tube, a Sumatran tube, but the Honduran tubes are definitely better than these. That said, I'm yapping again. We're getting on. This video is about 21 minutes long for a small cigar review, which is quite long. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to stop yapping. I hope all of you have a very good day. You have a great weekend, because we're going into Saturday. You'll see this on Saturday, or maybe later, but when the video's coming out, you'll see it on Saturday. So have a great weekend. If it's not the weekend, have a great day anyway. And as always, stay smoky.